Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise.
I have a real soft spot for evil.
Blood flying everywhere.
For good.
I'm a big boy who doesn't get scared.
Out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod.
Sup. Welcome to Chuddle the Pod, a horror movie club where horror movie lovers have a feel-good time. On this show, we dive into horror movies club style by asking and answering the same questions about a different movie every episode. And as always, we will warn you before the spoilers happen.
Plop, plop.
This episode, we're going to Chuddle Seoul Station.
Got soul, baby.
Ross is here because that was both of them. But Ross, you here?
Oh, hey.
Brian, are you here?
I got soul, baby.
Welcome to the anime cycle, gentlemen.
Woo! Yatta!
We did it.
Yeah, suggested or voted on by the patrons. We each gave a suggestion. This was Brian's suggestion, right?
It was.
And then it was selected, and we were like, oh, we need more than one anime movie. What are we going to do?
Yeah, certainly. Well, there's a lot out there, and I think the one we have coming up next is a far improvement. But this was, I thought, a good tie-in to sort of, we thought it was a good tie-in to like real horror movies out there that we're going to be jumping into.
Right.
Stuff,
so this is a prequel to Train to Busan, which has led us to where we'll be covering that when the anime cycle is over.
Yeah.
And
no need to keep it spoiler free about what we're covering. Might as well. Yeah, we will be going what's after this. That's why we picked this one pretty much.
Yeah. Because Brian hasn't seen Train to Busan. I assume that's still true.
That is still true.
Yeah. Don't let this get you down.
Is that confirmed?
I'm like, oh, okay. Interesting. Should be interesting.
Great. Well, before we continue, I must take this moment to thank our coven of patrons. Your sacrifice gives us life, and we thank your beautiful souls.
Oh.
Patrons get bonus episodes where we cover non-horror movies, mailbags, creepypastas, gnarly history, and Chuddle paddles. So thank you, coven members. Yeah. Oh, and you know what? I want to throw it up top because we always say it at the end. I'll probably say it there too. But if you like us and listen to us, tell your friends, rate, review, help spread the word. It does help us out.
Jump in the Discord.
Now, with all that said, jump in the Discord. Now, with all that said, coven avowed, time to crack open the goo book and officially begin tonight's meeting.
Give me that goo. Oh, yeah.
Starting with the things.
Let's do some lines.
Got our logline from MDB. Several groups of people try to survive a zombie pandemic that unleashes itself in downtown Seoul.
Wow.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Really
enticing stuff.
I guess it's several as in more than one, but it's two groups of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, realistic. Yeah.
They're like searching for each other the whole time.
It's not
like
a
leaving a lot
good
out.
Description of what is supposed to be going on here and what they're trying
But
to...
it is a great thing if you're not trying to say at all anything about like the most bare bones thing.
Varying groups. Yeah.
Certainly.
And we got our tagline, of course. You ready for this one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The animated prequel to Train to Busan.
Nice.
Ooh.
Is that all we got on it?
Ooh.
That is all we got.
Yeah, makes sense.
Betcha.
Yeah.
Because do you think this was a cash grab?
Not
necessarily.
You'll find out when we get to trivia. I mean, yes, but no.
Yeah, right.
It was. Yeah, we'll
I
get
agree.
there. Movies are made by people, and people that made this movie are. This was written and directed by, I meant to look up how to pronounce any of these names. Written and directed by Yan Sang-ho, who also wrote and directed Train to Busan.
Right.
Okay.
And some of our key players are Ryu Soon Ryong as Suk Gyu. I'm guessing he's the dad. We never really hear his name. Shim Eun Kyung as Hee-soon, Lee Jun as Ki Woong, and more, but it's basically these three characters. I guess I could say Jang Hyuk Jin as Mr. Kim, but
sure.
yeah.
No, that's it. Yeah. Makes it.
We know
I don't know
do
any
we know
of them.
these voice actors?
I'm
from
not
anything
familiar.
else?
To be completely honest here, show my cards.
That's fair. All right. Well, it is time to check the time.
It's time for the Gore.
Fatality.
Check the
On a
clock
scale
on the
of 1 to
wall,
10.
and all signs point to goo. It's time for the Gorometer. Sorry.
Hey. Scale of 1 to 10. Psycho to the Sadness. How gory is this film?
Oh, this is gonna be tough.
Even the zombies
tough.
have a zombie blindness to them. They're just kind of veiny with gnashy teeth and big eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I guess animated gore. So
It does.
it's weird. It's kind of low.
It is.
I feel like it's low.
It is low. Yeah, I agree.
Like we get a little bit of blood. We get a little bit of attacking. There are a few different scenes that are kind of, I guess, gory. Because like we get like top of a toilet smashed to the front end of a face. We get some like
most
even
of that we don't
what-
see. Yeah, it's off screen. You hear a lot of the clunking.
right.
Yeah.
2
Sure.
total.
I was gonna say
2 because
yeah,
I feel like
was
that
gonna
might
say
be
between
forgetting
a 2
something.
and a 3.
But I feel like I'm going high. But again,
Yeah.
because the animated gore in this really doesn't do much to elicit any sort of feeling of anything I normally see with gore.
Goo.
And I will say I've seen anime where the gore is effective and works.
I've
and stuff.
seen non-horror
Plenty.
anime that's gorier than this. Way
Yes.
gorier.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So that's why, yeah, I feel the lowness of it. So I'll agree with that too. And the consistency, I'll give a 2 as well. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Like a
Maybe
would
there
say
is.
for-
I don't know.
I was given
so
a 1
blind
for
to
each
it.
and given a 2 total.
2 total.
I mean, I would give I would say intensity maybe like a 2. I would agree with that. And then with
2 and a 1.
consistency, I would maybe a 2 and a 2. I would give it like, because I mean it is consistent. It's just not anything super intense, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, what is consistent? I can't even recall much blood, really.
Yeah, I feel like it's there, but it's
It's low. We'll call it a 3. Call it a day.
call
Perfect.
it, slap a 3 on it, call it a day, and get the hell out of here.
Let's hear something else.
Who is the horror forward?
With our horror questions, starting with what subgenres does it fall into? Zombie,
Zombie,
Animated zombie
prequel,
prequel,
the
prequels.
classic prequel subgenre.
I would say, I mean, fast moving zombies. If you like fast
Yeah,
moving zombies,
For
sure.
Almost infected, like
Yes.
28 days
Yes.
later, more of a less of a rotting
Absolutely.
corpse zombie and more of a
more than like rage virus kind of like craziness.
If you're into, and then by that aspect, if you're into infection pandemic type, if you're just like seeing
Yeah.
an infection spread.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that hits
covers
the
it.
nail. Yeah, there's no reason to dive deeper. That's good.
What kind of environment is best to watch this?
I think maybe with people
Yeah.
hanging out, watching some anime.
Yeah. I don't think there is like a real environment that would make
Greatly
this
benefit
peak
one way
viewing
or the other.
experience.
No, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. I think you can watch it with a group. I mean, obviously, I'm going to get into it. It's just subtitles. It's not dubbed, right? There wasn't a dubbed version.
There wasn't a dubbed version.
So
on-
it's like,
on
you're-
Prime.
yeah. So there's going to be a level of comprehension of having to watch the screen.
Less
So, like,
talking.
Less talking, not really a house party kind of scenario, unless you're not really paying attention to the movie.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Certainly.
Is it for beginners? If anything, it's more some of the other content of the like storyline that I would be concerned with. But yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah. No reason not to be.
Should you know anything going into it? I
That
don't
it's
think
a-
you need to.
You don't really need
I
to.
don't even think you
Yeah.
need to know it's a prequel to Train to Busan.
Yeah.
Good point.
Fappity fap. Those faps are for
Oh.
Kate. Fap.
Oh.
Now that you know what they are, the Chuddle Harbinger of Doom Mothman's flying in.
It's terrible.
Shout out to our Coven member,
Yeah,
Tiger Snake
Coven.
Kate.
Shout out Coven.
Yeah.
Well-
So, domestic abuse. near rape, headed towards
Yes.
rape, sexual
Mhm.
assault.
Non-consensual prostitution.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it deals with
Um,
prostitution and homelessness. Is like, I think it's social
Is a
things, commentaries that it's really trying to press on in these in two different
Totally.
ways here. But so it deals with the woes that come with prostitution.
Mhm.
Certainly.
Okay. Buckle up.
Spoiler zone.
I am the behind the scenes. There were only 4 of these, so I used all 4.
nice. Ooh.
The events in Seoul Station 2016 take place one day before the events in live-action sequel to Train to Busan 2016.
Nice.
Yan Sang-ho also directed Train to Busan, a live-action sequel to Seoul Station, which is also his first live-action movie.
Oh wow, nice. I didn't know that.
Released less than a month after Train to Busan was released. Seoul Station is the prequel to Train to Busan. So with the cash grab thing, they were kind of planned almost at the same time. I don't think they had any idea how much of a hit Train to Busan would be. So yes, doing any sort of additional supplemental thing is probably just for money, but it's not like Train to Busan came out and they're like, holy shit, we gotta ride
cash
this.
in on this.
Yeah. They're
Certainly.
probably
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I
oh,
see.
good thing we made this anime.
I kind of wish they had waited for the success of Train to Busan to do something and spent it on better animation. Hey, because
Yeah,
that's my biggest
this,
complaint. That's one of my biggest complaints
yeah.
about this is that the animation for me was lacking and distracting.
The animation in this really kind of gets into almost uncanny valley, as in like it's not hyper illustrated, but it's also not hyper realistic. So it's in this very weird middle ground. And I think sometimes that can get very distracting.
It
I don't know,
fails.
it reminded me of a lot of anime. It just seemed like cheap. It didn't seem like a movie. It felt like a show.
It seemed
Even
very
like a low budget show.
Mhm. It seemed very computer generated. I mean, I know a lot of it is nowadays,
Is.
but to some
Mhm.
because if you look, some of the zombies, a lot of the extras in here were just literally cut and paste of the same thing, literally
Mhm.
like the exact same thing, and the same scenes. Like I remember it specifically in like the police scene, a couple of those zombies. They're literally the same thing with the same like slit marks on their necks and all that stuff.
Which is a shame
so it's
because
just
it's such a
distracting to me.
cool concept for a scene. It's like 10 when they're all
Yeah, right,
Yes.
We'll
right.
get there.
Yeah.
But who picked it? Why in history? We kind of already touched on that. None of us had seen this. We were.
Correction.
You had seen it.
I had seen this.
Oh.
I just
Mind
forgot
wiped
that I literally forgot that I had seen it. And then within 10 minutes, the first I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I've seen this before.
That was funny. I can't blame you for forgetting necessarily. We were just looking for horror animes, so the one we're doing next week is Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Mhm.
That's the one.
And I know Brian's excited for us to cover that. So we knew we had that one, and we were like, all right, just looking for different things, throwing things out. And when this was mentioned, it was like, oh, hey, and Brian hasn't seen Train to Busan. This would be fun.
Which we're going to be covering later.
Yeah, start of, as part of next cycle. That covers it. We can jump right in, right?
Let's do it.
Jump.
Okay. Open on a sick, wounded man walking through a city. Two guys talking about how we need universal welfare, and one of them offers to help the sick man, but then doesn't and says this sick man smells and is homeless.
It's
Message.
the hypocrisy of like, wow, that guy needs help. Let's help him. He smells bad, so we're not going to help him.
Oh, he's just a homeless. He says something like that. Yeah. And then right away,
They really, there's nothing subtle about the social commentary in this movie.
right? Certainly, it's all.
Which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
It's, if you have something to say it. It doesn't bother me too much.
No, and it's a perfect context and way to tell this story and allow for this type of infection and stuff to like spread and does I think it lends well to the story and doesn't hinder it in the way of like, putting it blatantly out there or anything. But again,
Right.
like,
That's true. Having the original infection base start with the homeless, which are already ostracized and like kind of look like through, it was kind of a very cool delivery device to kickstart how this infection spreads.
The wounded man makes it to like a homeless person's camp, unhoused people. I know. I'm gonna say homeless because that's what they say in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I would always try and say the right thing, whatever that may be. Just giving that little clarifier now.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm gonna say homeless a lot during this.
Okay.
There's a girl. That's our main girl. And Hi Sun is how it's
just
spelled.
waking up.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like that's how they are pronouncing it, but I can't tell. So I'm just going to say how it's spelled.
Mm-hmm.
Hi Sun wakes up alone in her apartment. She looks for her boyfriend Ki Woong, but he's not home. She runs into her landlord outside, who threatens to evict her if she doesn't pay her rent. Again, not very subtle.
One more
We're really
day,
hitting
please.
on yeah. Go back to the homeless. We see their problems. One guy is mentally handicapped and seems to be the only one concerned about the wounded man. That we've seen
I like that people were just like walking by him with this like neck wound, like, and then he just goes like, oh shit, someone's gonna help my bro. I like that he just calls him my bro.
Yeah, someone's gonna help
my
my
bro.
He calls the wounded man bro and brother and tries to get him admitted to some sort of clinic.
Yes.
But I guess this clinic requires healthy people to voluntarily give up their bed. So when he gets there, the people already there sort of intimidate the slow guy until he leaves to look for help elsewhere. Now we meet Ki Woong, the missing boyfriend from before.
I thought they were just intimidating him, but I thought he was still going to. I thought the nurse lady was like, "Go get your guy and bring him here." She's like,
but then he goes somewhere else after this. That's why I assumed he wasn't coming back.
I don't remember.
They were trying to get the guys out of the room, and they were like, "Fucking try it, bro."
It seemed like what was going on. That my assumption is that they were homeless, but it's like this almost the gang of homeless people that like run
totally
a racket on this particular area here. Like, yes.
because
They stay in this area for free, and technically, yes, they can be kicked out to let someone in, but I don't know.
if we feel like it, yeah,
I don't know. There's something going on there.
Well, because
he books it out of here to go get like ibuprofen for him or something.
he ends up doing that. Yeah, first he goes somewhere else and asks for help. Yeah. We meet Ki Woong. He's at an internet cafe posting a pic of Hai Soon to prostitute her.
This fucking guy.
Mind you, the photo's her fucking asleep. Like I think that's what got me like the second viewing of this, where like he literally was just like,
It's like the fact,
while she's just dead ass asleep, and then that's the promo shot.
Yeah, there's so many things wrong with what he is doing, and then
Yeah, it's all very bad.
He's
So
just
he's
that-
supposed to be finding a job, but instead he was trying to pimp her. Apparently, he has rescued her from a brothel previously and doesn't see the problem with her selling her body again if they need money instead of him getting a job. It's all very gross, and they break up.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, horrible.
yeah, I was like, I really
when
hope
she's alone sobbing after this and is like, Dad, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh my God, this is
It's terrible.
tough.
This is an ongoing theme for me with a lot of these characters where like they'll do or say something and be like, wow, what a piece of shit. Like there's there's a bunch of them.
But what I really don't like is that she's not a well-drawn character at all. The whole time she's just a screaming dish rag. It's awful.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with is connecting to any of these characters here, because I was like, okay, I know we're supposed to really be rooting for her and everything, but as Sam just
but they play her like Barbara from Night of the Living Dead, where she's just the scream emoji, and you're just like, come on, like I get it, but stop.
And then then on top of it, I got mad. I'm like, are you gonna make me try to root for them to get together through all of this or something? So I'm like, I don't want to root for this piece of shit guy.
Let's put our differences aside.
There's like nobody changes or grows or devolves even, you know what I mean? Like they're kind of the same. somebody reveals something about themselves. But
There's a twist.
yeah. A man gets a phone call and is given the link of Haisoon's prostitution page. He has been looking for her. Our handicap, homeless guy looks for more help but is denied. Now he shows up at a pharmacy and has to buy just a couple of painkillers and some energy D, of course. He makes it back to his bro, but he has sadly passed on, so he goes back to the clinic to yell at them since they didn't save him.
Okay, yeah.
So fella and medics go to the body, but the body's gone, and there's some blood where he was. The man looking for Haisoon meets Ki Woong, and oh shit, it's her dad, and he's not happy. How dare you, prostitute my daughter, type
Also,
of thing.
just like a weird plot thing for me as well, where like this woman just like left you. You broke up, but you're still gonna meet with this person that you tried to pimp her out to, and could try to call her on the phone to convince her to like, you know what I mean? Where
I think
I'm like,
he was just
going
to try and steal the guy's money or something. Like, get in the shower, she'll be right. I think he was still.
Oh, interesting.
It didn't matter whether or not she was there. He even told her, like, look, you don't even have to do it. Make him shower first, and we'll rob him. Like,
oh
yeah.
That makes sense.
So I think he was still just trying to scheme a way to
I could see it as.
money.
I definitely, it makes sense that you say that. I could see it as well as him still trying to make it work with her and calling her and be like, all right, let's just do it. Like, I got like, yeah. This
Hey, I
is.
got the guy in the room right now. Let's go.
He's that type of person that I feel like would.
Yeah. So slow guy looks through homeless areas for his missing dead friend, but he finds him eating someone and is attacked.
So, what did you guys think of the reveal of the zombie look? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't too blown away with it. I do like I like how feral they are. And I like kind of like the jumping and the craziness about them.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that they just kind of putter about until something catches their attention, and then they take
I
off
do
for
enjoy
it
that
and
too.
just will like throw their bodies at stuff.
I do like
think
that
the
they
way-
have a hard time going downstairs.
Yes. Just pummeling themselves. It's the only the reason why I bring it up is that in later scenes, like when they get to the police station and service and like the cops show up and a bunch of other stuff, is that they look so dramatically different that there's a few, it's like, whoa, you guys get away from the windows. These people are crazy. Where it's like the way, like they got bulging eyes and veins and lacerations all over them, where I'm like, I would be way more freaked out upon seeing them the way that they look versus the reactions that we get from some like
I think it's
people
supposed
in
to be part of the social commentary of, because they were all these people were
Come
are
in,
also
are all
homeless
homeless.
people that became zombies. They're not upstanding citizens or whatever. They're just crazy homeless.
No, I understand. They are very blatantly, like, when you see them, it's blatantly like they're full on zombie. There's no in between looking
Yeah.
phase. So when they're up against that glass, regardless, it does seem very, and they're like, ugh. and like the cops are like, go back outside. You're not allowed in here. Did you see that?
Right. It reminded me of like video games where like something crazy is going on, but the NPC is just doing like, you need to go outside now.
It did feel the way the characters and any of the stuff that was animated on screen goes back to that animation. It was all very like look cell shady in that way that some video games are. So it did feel very
That's
much
a good
like
way
playing
to
a
put
video
it.
game.
I couldn't think of it. It's like cell shading.
And I think
Yeah.
the problem I think I had with it
Real
is
House
that
of the Dead vibes.
the backdrop that it was against, where there was some really beautiful that looked, like painted backdrops of the cityscape or different, places that they were in. And then you had this cell shaded ish looking character on top of that, if that
Mhm.
makes sense, was just jarring to me.
Yeah.
That's what it took it, because I'm trying not to poo poo all over different styles of animation. So I don't want to be like, well, this one's not good, but like when we see stuff like like the classic
just say your
Akira or
taste,
whatever, yeah, I think just there's something that feels more.
Well, in
Well,
modern
lived in-
anime too, it also can look so good. You know what I mean? Like,
There's some
there's
beautiful
really
looking
amazing
anime
stuff.
out there. That's the thing.
now,
Yes.
granted, anime, at least, started traditional whatever, is a Japanese art form. And this is a South Korean movie, so I don't know if that has...
We stretched it, the
Yeah.
term, if it needs to be for what to fit this. But yeah, we took it in and ran with it here. But yeah, something like, so this was 2016. I forget when Vampire Hunter D came out. And I consider that like some fucking gorgeous animation that we're going to see in that movie.
Okay.
So anyway, so that's what really took me out of it. Cause like so many of these, like we see these, I thought the zombie was pretty cool looking. But then I got kind of confused at times because the zombie that we see getting eaten here, I see that same skin or whatever used throughout other parts with other zombies. I'm like, is that supposed to be the same zombie? No, that can't be. That's just another zombie in this horde. It's not a
Right.
return of that first zombie, right?
Return to the original.
I just got
of the
pulled out
dead.
of it when I saw so many that were just the same thing.
The same.
Similar, let's say.
They were the same.
Be nice.
They were the
They're
same.
the exact same. Copy and pasted.
Yes.
Which also added more of the video game aspect where you're like, okay, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy,
Right.
paste, and fill background.
I'm like, I'm ready for this cutscene to end. I want to play.
Ki-woon calls Hai-soon, but she doesn't answer because she's mad at him.
Fuck you.
Dad and Ki-woon go back to Ki-woon's place to look for Hai-soon. Dad threatens Ki-woon.
She lived in this dump?
Uh-oh, landlord is a zombie. Dad and Ki-woon hide in an apartment, but Ki-woon lets her in, and Dad kills her with a porcelain toilet lid.
The fucking landlady zombie introduction where the guy falls out in his I'm assuming in his underwear, and is going, please help me, oh my god, and he's just covered in bite marks, and then this woman pops out. I don't know, I audibly laughed the first time I saw that because it didn't scare me. It was just a guy in his underwear going, please help me, oh no. Then just
I didn't think twice about it, but I was like, yeah, I remember it happening.
I know they burst out of a room into the hall.
But that did get me to think of like where I guess we still don't know really where it seems like we were led to believe that the homeless man, well, there's someone before him that bit him and started the infection.
Somehow
right?
he's patient zero, I think. Maybe it was a...
or just at least a pocket in a
maybe
larger
something
cells
got
of-
him. It doesn't have to be he was bit by a zombie. Like, he could have...
Got
whatever
bit by
infected him made him
radio-
the first zombie.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which then, where does this zombie come from that's in this apartment with this dude?
Spreading quick.
It's just disperse.
All right, cool.
We can talk about that a little more when we talk about Train to Busan, because I think there's some stuff at the beginning of that movie that
explains whatever.
We'll get
yeah,
there.
well, I guess. Yeah.
we'll get there. I mean, it's going to take a while, but we're going to get
Like a
there.
month.
Dad kills her with a porcelain toilet lid.
Whap, whap, whap.
The guy she attacked is now a zombie too and chases Dad and Ki-woon into the bathroom. Hai-sung walks through the homeless at Seoul Station when she comes across people running at her and past her. They're being chased by zombies. She runs too. And then I put in parentheses, I love when they throw themselves down the steps after her.
Yeah.
Right.
I love this scene. This was an intense, fun, neat scene of them just like
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a lot
shit
of
moment.
stuff that is cool conceptually.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like her gasping and hesitant while all these people are running past her, and that side shot is fucking awesome. And then just like the weird mutters of like, run, go the opposite way.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
It's like, hold on, I want to see why first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hai-soon and some other homeless make their way to a police station, but the zombies break down the door. Now Hai-soon, 3 homeless men, and a big cop lock themselves inside a cell surrounded by Zeds.
You know what I said when that happened? I went and I go, smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say that many times during this movie, but I was like, what do you do in that situation? Yeah, I guess that is the most safest.
I thought that was really, again, great concept. Like just the idea of being trapped in a
Right.
cell where they're like right there, but then also you are with someone who is bit in there, but don't know yet that, like, how do you get out of this situation?
Who also has the gun.
Yeah.
Right.
I liked that. Ki-woong and Dad escape out of the window of the bathroom and climb to the apartment roof. Dad and Ki-woong are teamed up now. They come up with a plan to get down to the car. Back at the station, cop in the cell is calling it in, blames it all on the homeless. Ki-woong and Dad, back at the roof, execute their escape plan.
There's all these stinky people. Help us.
Back at the station, dead cop. So there was a cop outside that got killed by the homeless outside the cell. He
Wakes
gets
up and
now. Yep. And comes to the cell, grabs our alive but bit cop, and gets shot in the head.
Bop.
Yeah, stuff with the gun and stuff happening in the cell, but riot police show up, and Hae-seung and the homeless man end up escaping. The homeless man uses his last shot to save her.
Mm-hmm.
They get out and run into a paramedic and are taken by an ambulance.
Yes.
Ki-woong gets a hold of Hae-seung. He says, "Hey, I'm with your dad." "Oh, you're going to the hospital? Great, we'll meet you there." And meanwhile, this was another thing that I liked when they're on their way to the hospital. The paramedics like, "Oh yeah, it's a crazy night. All these people are showing up that we're treating for bite marks." And so the guy's like, "What? No, you cannot take us there." The homeless guy, and immediately grabs the wheel and is trying to get him to stop. I don't know why they didn't just stop while this guy's like trying to grab the wheel and do this. Why wouldn't
the
you
wheel.
just put on the brakes and park? Maybe
Again, only one of the. I guess everyone is
keep
really
driving as fast
panicked.
as you can while he's
Speed up. No, you
Right.
talk to
Well,
speed
Well, it's
up.
also like explain yourself, as in like you've now witnessed this. There's two people in the back. We're like, hey, it's an infectious disease. Anybody who gets bit turns into a crazy, or however, like even a terrible explanation would have been better than the zero explanation and then just the sharp 90-degree turn to the
yeah.
steering wheel.
So it wrecks, but they survive. Homeless man and Hae-seung leave the wreck and head into the subway. Seoul Station, maybe? I don't know. They have a scare psych out moment at a security gate. They're trying to crawl under, and homeless person sees them and starts coming at them. They're like, "Oh, we gotta go away." And it is just a homeless person. She starts shouting.
Well, I like how she's like running like,
nonsense.
Mhm.
I hope you die.
And I think that's supposed to, again, be all part of how we see people. The
Message.
fact that they saw this person
As an imminent threat
as a zombie and it wasn't.
makes you think.
Yeah. Now they're walking the tracks in the subway. No service down there. Ki-woong and Dad get to the hospital. Can't reach Hae-seung by phone, so they have to go in. Well, Ki-woong waits in the car. Dad goes in. Surprise, surprise. It's full of zombies. Dad starts running. Ki-woong is attacked in the car, but like the zombie gets caught on the seatbelt, so it can't quite get him. Dad shows up, saves Ki-woong. They're back on the road. Still can't reach Hae-seung. In the subway, Hae-seung wants to go home and cries, and so does the homeless man. And then they just stand in the tunnel and cry about how they want to go home for a minute.
I mean,
Yep.
that was the crying tunnel. It was clearly stated going in.
We got flooded. Dad and Ki-woong find the crashed ambulance, continue their search. Hae-seung and homeless man pass a zombie-filled terminal. I thought that was cool. I was
enjoyed
also
that
like,
moment.
good thing these terminals are surrounded by glass and not just like open in like at New York subways. If you went to walk by one.
They have a lot better safety measures in other countries in terms of like the having
tracks.
Makes
the
sense.
tracks not being able to be like just pushed onto them. Like that happens here, which is cool. I really enjoyed that scene there. I think one of the things that I also was kind of upset about this movie is that we do seem to traverse parts of it. I mean, like it's cool to be down in the subway, but I feel like there wasn't a lot of well utilized, lack of better words, set pieces. I mean, you're in the world of animation. You have a way to
You can do
some really
almost
cool shit.
whatever.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
And I feel
Yeah.
like it feels limited. It feels like it's
Well,
made
it
on a
felt
budget
like
or something. Like they couldn't get the locations. Like
well, I think a lot of these I felt was written to be live action. if that makes sense. Where I'm like, it's like, okay, we're going to have a limited budget, so let's do this. Because no, I agree with you. Where it's like the scope of what you could do with animation is so big, but this feels like this was written to be a live.
That makes
like
sense.
it had a live
movie.
action budget.
Those moments in the cell, those emotionally impactful moments would play a lot better, I think, with live action, or realistically maybe a better budget animation, because there's definitely emotionally impactful animation out there. It just something wasn't as resonating with any of those moments from
it doesn't look
screen to me, to my eyeballs.
To my eyeballs,
to my very owns. All right. Ki-woon and Dad take high ground just to try and see what's going on, find Hae-soon, and they see heavy police movement.
The high ground.
Hae-soon gets out of the subway, calls Ki-woon with her new location, but is immediately chased by zombies. They find shelter in an alley behind a barricade and good Samaritans. Basically, they were running along and some guys were like, hey, back here. And they like climb over a makeshift barricade with some dudes with sticks that are beating away zombies.
They sure are. They are just fucking on that wall beating zombies.
Just cracking them.
Cracking skulls.
I do like the idea of playing to the zombies' weaknesses, as in like getting a little bit elevated on those barricades. And because they're just throwing themselves at these things, having the upper hand and being able to like cave in their skulls before actually trying to climb.
Yeah. I mean, it's given how quickly all this is going down, they did a really great job.
They sure did. And now this is the part too where I start to get a little bit confused about some things. But if you want to go into where we are, we're in some like containment area or something, it seems like.
Well, so she climbs over this thing and then they turn a corner and it turns out they've been
corralled.
Corralled, blocked off by a bus. So it's like an L-shaped alley.
I think when we saw like the cops
climbs
moving
in over
in,
the human barricade. Yeah, we saw the cops moving in with the buses when the Dad and Ki-woon took the high ground.
It's like, oh, okay, cool. That's smart and everything. I'm just like, why are we doing this? Is this because are these all like lower class people that were quarantined? Are they just trying to? I don't understand the point of stopping
the streets.
This exact area. Why is this any different than one street over?
They could just go a block up and have already have a barricade made by people and save all these people.
Yeah, like there's so many things.
They've
here.
only barricaded off this little L shape that's already barricaded by people on the other side.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's like if there was a bigger scoped scene where every bus was blocking every alley and intersection going across, I think this scene would make a little more impact instead of just one particular bus in just this.
Or there's something, that was causing more seemingly a funnel or one location, because it seems like we go from our dad and the kid or whatever coming from another zombie infected area. Like, I don't understand why this is sectioned off versus another area where clearly someone came from an area where there was an infection happening. Like, why were the dad and son able to get in?
They weren't inside that area yet.
They weren't in that area. Right. I guess that area got quarantined, but another area.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
It's just a little confusing, and maybe I wonder if some of this has to do with lost in translation type of thing. If there's something a little bit there, maybe not understanding, but it doesn't feel. It feels
no. Well, and it's probably a chaotic environment anyway. They're probably not like. Upon reflection, we didn't do the quarantining right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
A lot of panic going on, but it's also just, I think a lot of the issues that are in this actually do stem from the fact that like it has social commentary, so it's more focused on that than it is the other thing. So I guess, maybe this is the poor area of town or the area where, for whatever reason, we're fine to kill these people. maybe we would know if we knew the location, because they do say
That's
they're
my
next
thing. Like,
to, a certain
Mhm.
station, Hyung Station or something like that.
that's what I think I was meaning, maybe by the lost in
By
translation,
lost
as
in translation,
being part of
Yeah.
that, not understanding the geography of Seoul.
Mhm. Ki-woon and Dad go to her last known location, are headed that way. Hai-soon and homeless man walk alley and turn the corner to find they're blocked in by a bus and riot police. Ki-woon and Dad arrive on the other side of the cop blockade. They beg and fight to get through, but aren't allowed. Meanwhile, the Zoms...
Get out of here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Zoms start making their way through the Samaritan barricade. They're, giving fights. They bit a guy, and they're about to get hoarded.
Mm.
There's a crowd at the police buses getting angry, screaming stuff. One guy's like, "Hey, everybody shut up. I'm better than all of you, and I deserve to live."
That was funny. It's like, okay.
Yeah. And then the homeless guy says something about how, he also deserves to live and has done a lot too. Now the horde does come through, breaks over the good guy barricade. The homeless man climbs on top of the cop bus, shot through the heart. And you're to blame. You give love a bad name. Panic ensues. One man finds a
After
tricky...
disco.
Mm-hmm. Panic ensues. One man finds a tricky escape route across a pole. Hai-soon follows. She gets stuck and ankle scratched. Yeah, go ahead.
I like this scene. Sorry. This has some good moments of just like
Tension, something.
like just the something
Just-
of like,
I think there are a lot of tension moments in this. I think that's like one of the only things that has going for it.
right. And I think it's at least cool what we got going on here. It's like the oh shit moment of the dude that's been just sitting there bashing zombie skulls for how many hours on end, and all the shit's
Sees the
starting to
horde
turn.
coming.
And the horde, he's like, oh fuck moment of him coming in and then just being like, how the fuck do I get out? I like that panic, and then him realizing, oh, maybe I can climb across this wire here, which he does.
Mhm.
And then him being like, oh shit, like I'm going to go save or help this girl who seems to be like almost falling or whatever. And then he falls.
They're like hanging on the pole with like shimmying their way across by their hands with zombies underneath him.
Which I thought was great. And that would definitely really look cool. And I think be more tension building in live action. Like that type of moment. I can totally see that.
Better animation as well.
Agreed. Agreed. And and she's not able to like pull her hand up. So he has to come and help her. And then he gets fucking ripped down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sucks to be him.
But she gets her ankle scratched in this. He does save her, but at the cost of his own life. Then there's this cool scene where she's walking across like girders on the roof. And she's got to balance herself, and the
That was
zombies
really
are
cool.
just running off the roof behind
Just
her, throwing
banging.
and dinging
Boom,
and
bap.
donging and throwing their bodies and kind of catching and maybe getting up but falling again.
One of my favorite scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah.
By far.
It's just these like just the meat slap where it's like it's also so creepy when these things land correctly ? And then kind of just like shamble their way back where it's like just like oh god, oh no.
Well, yeah, because I was like, oh, okay, cool. You'd be relatively kind of safe on this thing, and then they start hurling themselves. And I'm like, okay, just get
Nope.
farther enough out and you're fine. And then like the ones that get, I'd say, lucky enough that hurl themselves in like a cross
Like
beam
land on their
section
belly or something.
where they can get up and just like launch themselves again, because they get up and they just immediately leap towards her again, which is just really
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
As she's making her way. Very good scene.
Town.
Probably, yeah, got to be the only where in my notes that says there's a cool scene. She falls off a roof onto a balcony, goes inside. It's a model apartment on a floor of model apartments. Going back to set pieces, if there was one, this is one. It is. I do kind of like this set
Mhm.
piece that just
This one
being
is
in this whole area
Just a
of
fake
model
apartment.
apartments. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She gets a call from Ki-woon. He's on his way. She wanders into a room and falls asleep at a desk. Ki-woon wakes up soon and tells her everything is safe now. Time to reunite with Dad. Now, initially, Did you guys think this was going to be a dream? Because I was like, this has dream written all over it. He wakes her up and is like, hey, it's okay. You're safe. Like,
Yeah. Funny enough, did not even cross my mind at this point.
It's
but
not.
No, but it's not a dream.
But I thought for sure it would be. Time to reunite with dad. You know, he split off to find her as well. Oh, there he is. Oh, shit. Not her dad. It's her pimp.
Mm-hmm.
He's the dad to all his girls. Ugh. So this all gets real gross.
It gets real gross very quickly. Although, God, it's so terrible.
I didn't see it coming.
Exactly. First time watching this, I did not. This part I do remember, like the twist at the end where I was like, oh shit, I do remember this.
Right.
And when I watched it for the first time, I did have that like pit in my stomach where it was like,
I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
no.
Like, everybody sucks. Nothing good's gonna happen. Like,
Right.
But I was kind of impressed by that, where I'm like, because at a certain point, it's one of the only quote unquote redeeming characters that you're trailing with this entire film, shy of her. You know what I mean?
But
and then
she's terrible.
She's also terrible. They're all levels of terrible.
But at least she's not bad necessarily, where these people are bad, but like,
but then you
as
find
a
out
character,
it's like
this movie would not pass the Bechdel test.
Is just like, oh no. Okay, well, this just got worse.
Yeah, sure does. He attacks Ki-woong, grabs Hai-soon. Ki-woon's on the ground, grabs a kitchen knife, but is quickly disarmed and has his throat slit.
I think when that happened, I went, oh shit. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted him to die, but it's, it was weird. It's fine.
Exactly.
Pimpin' Hai-soon kind of have a cat and mouse throughout these apartments. He finds her, but she attacks him. He immediately gets the upper hand and beats her. Now he's gonna rape her, but she died. He's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you so hard. All this stuff. And then we see the leg scratch and the veins coming from it. And that's what did it when she got scratched on the leg. She turns, eats him, all in shadow. Even this, we don't get a satisfactory gore.
But it did. I was pretty satisfied with this, where it's like, obviously we did want her to live, but
I wanted having
just to be like, all right, dude, you're getting, at least he got his like comeuppance. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, okay, now he just gets to get torn apart.
They both got their just desserts.
And I know you won't, Sam. Don't say too much, but is Train to Busan gory?
Yes.
By
comparatively.
Like, yes.
Comparatively,
exactly. Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, I was just wondering why it seems to be shied away from, especially again in animation. You can do something.
I feel like they geared this towards.
I mean, I can't recall specifically part of that zombie blindness, but I don't remember thinking, wow, this isn't gory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's what
I did think in this.
This one has a hint of like some person was very optimistic on the popularity of this. He goes, but what if it gets into syndication? What, like, let's not show a bunch of stuff.
It's like this.
I don't know the details on the release. It could have aired on TV for all I know. So, she eats him. Ki-woon definitely dead, not coming back. Soldiers and the cops, riot cops we've seen, they were overrun. It appears the city's overrun too. Finn.
What an upbeat ending.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't mind the bleakness or bleak ending. I just didn't care. Like, I didn't care enough about the characters to feel bleak about it in a way that made me go, oof.
I think
that really hit me. That was a good one.
I think what was difficult with this movie is that it ping pongs between the two groups, but doesn't spend enough emotional time with either one for you to get like overly attached to any of them.
Well, they make us like dislike Ki-woong right away.
Exactly.
The dad you can kind of relate to because he's searching for his daughter, so you can understand that sentiment even if you're not a parent. But then it turns out that's not who he is. The homeless man who's around for a while we know nothing about. And Hai-soon has no character at all other than she's upset all the
Screaming.
time.
Yeah. It needed... I'm fine with the dad turning into her pimp thing. That would have worked really well if or
we
just our
cared
two
more about
leads were
her.
better. Yeah, we cared about
Yeah.
her, and he didn't completely suck. And then even if he did kind of suck a little bit, she's still more than him. She's able to,
Yeah.
again, like you said, grow. She came from a brothel, and she should have a
At
growth
one
story
point, do
and become
anything other than
independent from
scream
this.
and run.
Yes, she should be. Yeah, it should be.
Everybody
that would have
was-
been more impactful, and then turn her into. I don't care. Have the ending. Make it.
Yeah.
Everyone die or whatever.
It just
but
Yeah.
it just seemed everybody was a little whiny. Like everybody was whiny. And it was kind of just like
That was the other thing. Not only did Ki-woon like just be absolute misogynist dickhead, he's
Yeah.
also a whiny bitch.
yeah.
All right, well, any other final thoughts? Moving on. And we're back. It's time to get into our questions. The crematorium or questions.
Oh.
Starting with, how would we survive? How many are sacrificed? We're not surviving. We're all sacrificed. Who's the last one surviving?
Ooh. I think I'm gonna go first because I'm.
Do you think
I'm
we're
too
getting?
trusting.
What do you think's happening here? Are we corralled in that area? Are we?
I think
we're on a
Sam
vacation.
dies by doing a gnarly kickflip off of a police bus.
Hell yeah,
And-
brother.
and it gets lit up.
That's
by
how I've
police.
how I always thought I'd go out.
Nice.
Probably wouldn't
How was
land it.
Probably wouldn't land it.
Hell yeah.
Just
Throw in some Limp Bizkit.
Right.
How am I going out? I don't know. I'll probably be distracted by some like pretty lights or something. Sky flowers. I'll be distracted by sky flowers.
no, I think
I just don't have the cardio. It wouldn't take long before I'd be like
nuked, just fucking nuked. Brian, I do.
Yeah, no, I think you got enough cardio. You're the one that's probably got some of the most cardio out of any of us, if anything.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. So I said skateboard wouldn't be good for sneaking up on zombies in our.
Be
Oh,
getting
how
away.
about that? Back to back zombies. Great for getting away. I would take a skateboard in a heartbeat. Me,
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not sneaking. Anyway, yeah, I mean,
I'll take a BMX bike with some pegs.
fast zombies. I feel like I'm always kind of done for. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
These are especially
they
aggressive.
move like bullet ants.
I mean, I'll just try to go somewhere that has a lot of stairs and hallways I can run
Ooh.
so that I can
Yeah,
go
yeah,
downstairs and they'll just like launch themselves. Hopefully,
Get one with
It's
a
a
nice
long-
one you can slide down.
yeah, and then that it's long enough, but also has like a wall right at the end of it, so that when they hurl themselves forward, they hurl themselves into the
Oh.
wall, and hopefully
Mhm.
smack
Ooh.
their heads.
Yes, and crush through. Yeah, so just be a pile of bodies. At
That's
the
what it's
bottom of
about,
it.
man. See, I'm always thinking here. This is the
Outside
world
the
I live
box,
in, man.
baby.
Yeah.
Zombie. Whenever I'm watching a zombie movie, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
How many of
now
these
we
can
know
fall
to go
downstairs?
to find like a good place that's what normally you wouldn't walk on because it's hazardous, but with these guys following you, like
I'll just fucking go. A
find-
construction
you should
site.
go-
climb up a bridge, construction site.
That's what she seems to go into. I think that's what that area is.
It's
We
the
should-
a building being built. I think
We should hide out at a stairs museum.
The Stairs
yeah.
Museum.
Museum.
that's it.
Nailed it. That's how we survive. The Stairs Museum.
That's how we
You go to the
survive.
Stairs Museum.
I'm gonna go to the top of a sports arena.
yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, and then you get and then you aren't the cameras on like a wire or something? That, like,
Yeah.
zoom
Oh, at the
across?
NFL game.
And just zip line.
Yeah, you just hold on one of those. And then the zombies come at you, and then you zip across, and they all hurl themselves off.
Totally.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I get one of those water jetpacks, man. You're good.
Bro, okay.
Ooh.
Water jet. Are these later the dead zombies? No? We're good, man? All right.
Yeah. They ain't learning shit.
Easy peasy. How do you make it gooier? Add tons
Show
of gore.
blood.
Yeah.
Show
Let
the
us see
gore.
that guy get ripped apart.
At the
the end.
core. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You don't even. Yeah, that's right.
It's all
No,
shadow play. Who does
Not
he think
even
he is?
inten-
Nosferatu?
Yeah.
not even. We don't even see intestines in this, do we? Usually,
No.
like a zombies and intestines, like that's a
No.
staple.
That's a hand-in-hand thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Low. Villain level 1 through 10. Power level and iconography 1 and 5.
Society.
1 to 5.
Ooh.
Power level. I mean, they're fast. They're not fast zombies. Like, they're very uncoordinated.
They
so
are.
they're like fast
But they-
ghost faces.
But I feel like they make up for it for the sheer tenacity. Like these things are just hurling themselves at you at full force.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
they're feral.
totally. I'd say maybe power 2.5. You know what I mean?
I was
Like,
gonna go
it's-
2.5 seems high, but I'll go there with you.
I'll wiggle there to
Yeah.
you.
Iconography. They're veiny.
it's hard to
Gnashy
say.
teeth. I mean, they
They're
kind of look
so
like
veiny.
veiny meth heads.
Yeah. I wasn't sold on the iconography of this. I mean, I'm gonna maybe same thing, maybe like a 2. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'd say-
I know that there's
Yeah,
zombies.
that's fine for me.
I
But-
might remember the veininess, so like it
Yes.
might have some memorable quality to it, but
Yeah,
even
Big
that might be a
vein
stretch.
guy. Sam's the big vein
Mhm.
guy.
big old vein boy.
They used to
Big
call me
vein.
Big Vein.
That's what we, God, you don't want to be in a room when Big Vein and January Ross walk in.
Look at that heartthrob, big vein.
Wait, Big Vein and January Ross are coming to this party? I'm dipping. I'm sorry,
I'm
guys.
out, bro. I'm out of hibernation, baby.
Oh no, he's fresh out of hibernation.
Last time I hung out with them, I legally died,
Oh.
and now I'm a zombie.
Oh.
Should it have a
Solid.
sequel? What's your sequel? Yeah, Train to
Okay,
Busan.
it's like a train.
Train to Busan.
It's a much better sequel. Based on this, no.
Yeah. Like you can have another instance happening in Seoul, but this is all neatly dismembered at the end.
Yeah, if I saw this, I wouldn't be like, I need to explore this universe more.
Correct.
Mhm.
Would you buy the soundtrack or score on vinyl? To that, I say soundtrack or score. Did we
What?
hear? I'm assuming there was something in there.
We have this question. I know it's going to be asked, and sometimes I just don't think about it through the movie. So my answer is no.
No.
If
it does-
no. If I didn't pick it up at any point,
Mhm.
nah, dog. That's just
Non-effective.
ambiance. Is anything action figure worthy?
Yeah, I mean, as a zombie, I would take a zombie or something.
Zombo, Zomboni.
Like just to, if I had a zombie collection. I mean, they're cool enough to like, because I think it would work and translate well to an action figure.
Sure.
Mhm.
Look and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I think you could make it. I don't want any of our main characters or anything. I don't
No,
really care.
you
much
only go
about
for
any.
like zombies in this.
Yeah. All right. What merch proper promo item do you want from the film?
Interesting.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There's nothing that really sparks. Although, like, I guess it would be merch. I would really like to have bookends, and it's either like
Ross
a
fucking
subway.
loves bookends.
I love bookends,
Loves
dude.
some bookends.
I own
So-
a library. I have a library in my house. But just having it either like part of the subway train or something where it looks like a bunch of zombies are breaking in through one side and then busting out the other side.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I think one of the biggest
I'll take a can of Energy D.
Energy D.
Solid. Oh, I'll take I don't know, one of the many LG products that were advertised in the movie.
Yes. Oh, I know exactly what I want. I want the blanket that's behind the advertising
yeah.
thing.
They got
That he just, like,
there's-
pops
at the
up and,
beginning,
like,
a homeless
takes a
guy like
blanket out.
walks up. And I'm like, what is he doing? Because he like
Doing?
lifts up a poster that's like backlit and there's just light shining out.
Yeah,
and
I
he
remember
reaches
it
back
now.
there and just pulls out a blanket.
I want that blanket.
Well, they also seem to be contained to this little section of the station. So I don't know if this is something that happens in Seoul where the homeless are allowed to like overnight sleep in a part of a station.
I wonder if Seoul Station is known as having a lot of homeless was something I thought.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, it very well could be some sort of thing where you could easily pop I don't know. I was like, that is weird
Yeah.
that just happened. I thought he was going to pop it out and go behind it and go to like some secret
Yeah.
area.
I have actually
Nope.
I have seen those.
Just a blanket.
Like there's like a few I think it was like a Vice or something like that, where they had like the advertisements and they pop up and like homeless people would live behind them and sleep there overnight.
Oh, hey,
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
it's a good spot if you can find it.
Oh my god, yeah.
That'd be my number one spot. Oh, midnight showing. I want to go to a midnight showing.
I don't
want to go there. I would throw Advil at the
Sure.
bro guy
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he's
yeah.
asking for medication.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I would.
That's solid.
I'd throw Haisun a life preserver to save her. I don't know.
Try to pull her out of the movie. Get out of there! It just sucks from here on
How
out.
old is she supposed to be? I know she was a teenage runaway,
20s,
and they talk
I'm
about her
assuming?
being very young.
Maybe
but-
20. I don't know.
What I think
No idea.
Ki-woon, they say he says he's 19.
Okay. So then maybe let's just say
18,
18, 19.
Yeah.
For the love
No
of God.
idea though. It's so hard. There's so much I don't know about
Yep.
so
Any of
many
these-
things
yeah.
in this movie.
Popcorn bucket. Just give me a zombie head. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zambo head for zombie head.
Yeah. Or I guess like a subway entrance would be cool. Like the down
Ooh.
into the street with the
Mhm.
I see what
say
you're
like
saying.
Seoul Station above it or something. Okay, well now to the fun part.
I only want your fingers.
Should we all, like, cut our fingers open and bleed on it?
Can you wrap your fingers around this?
I'll take a Voorhees burger and a side of Jason's fingers.
Show them.
You heard all that finger talk because we're going to
Ooh.
rate some movies. We rate movies on this show on a scale of 0 to 5 fingers. You can do 0, quarter, half, 3/4, whole, any combination in between. And we have different qualifiers for what makes a finger.
What is a finger?
What is a finger?
Why we are cutting our fingers off.
Yeah. So these fingers are intended to be
Oh,
subjective
yeah.
on how we feel about a
Uh-huh.
movie. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Starting with Ross, because I feel like I'm least.
Where
I'm not sure.
Where's it gonna go? Where's it gonna go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's go with engaging.
Uh huh.
I'm honestly going to give engaging the full 1. I was engaged. And it's one of those like, was I engaged because it was good, or was I engaged because I was utterly baffled about what was going to happen next? What was
Trying to
happening? What's
figure out
going
what was
next? You know what I
happening.
mean? Like this is one of
Yeah.
those weird, like I have to give it the full
Mhm.
1. Sticky is I see by fault because I realized that I had seen this and then thought I had never seen it. I feel that Sticky should just by proxy get a 0. I think that I'm going to give it the 0.25 because out of anything, the daddy not my daddy twist at the end did stick because I realized that was the only thing I
You
fucking
remembered that. and
exactly.
That's
I
what
was like,
cued
oh
you
yeah,
that
that's
you
the
saw
dad who's
the
not
movie.
a dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I will give it 0.25. T-shirtable is gonna get a big old goose egg. It's not. I don't know if I'm gonna like. I would much rather have a Train to Busan shirt than the animated prequel shirt. I'll just put it that way. Given the choice of the two, it's a very clear. Like, all right, I'll just get a Train to Busan shirt. That makes. Yeah. Yes.
This ain't
Exactly.
the fucking Animatrix
exactly.
here. Like, yeah, I get it.
And then cockles, man, cockle doodle drews. Cockles is gonna get. I will give it the 0.25. I feel that the zombies were kind of interesting, and I do like the aspect of how they were. I do like how I don't know. There's just a je ne sais zombie that I like about these zombies. You know what I mean? Like where they just hurl themselves off of shit.
Sure.
In particular, the one that honestly, the scene that gets the 0.25 for me is them fucking hurling themselves off the building onto that crosswalk thing. You know what I mean? Like that scene under the beams. I was like, that scene
Under
alone,
the
I was like,
beams.
okay, all right, you fucking got me. You got me once, but you got me. And then rewatchable. Oh man, I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna watch this movie again, but I'll probably never watch this movie again. Or actually, to be totally honest with you, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna forget, even after having recorded evidence of this whole episode coming out and then talking about it on the Discord. I am gonna forget in a year that I watched this movie and watched this by accident. I'll be like,
You'll end up watching it again one day when you're like, I
Yeah.
don't remember what this movie was about, and I just watched
Yeah.
Train to Busan,
So I
so I might
can't
as well watch this.
say that I'll never see it again. So that I'll give it a 0.25.
1.75.
You know,
How does that feel?
I'm going to leave it as is. I feel that it's like, this movie to me is a 2, but I really do like how the cards lay on this. Like after talking it out, I'm like, yeah,
Sure.
I can't. This is,
I'm going to give it to myself next.
ooh, really? Do we get to watch?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we've been waiting for. Engaging. Like you, Ross, I'm going to give it, I'm going to give it a 0.75. I feel like for the most part, I am pretty engaged, but maybe it's the beginning. I know for sure there were parts where I wasn't totally on it. Sticky, I'll give 0.5. It could end up being mind wiped, but there were aspects to this that I really liked in certain scenes, like when they were in the cell, when they threw themselves down the stairs, threw themselves onto the thing. I liked the twist. It's tough. I've been unsure where I'm going to land on this because there are parts I like and parts I don't like.
Yeah.
And I certainly think that dislike outweighs it. Anyway, let's keep going and find out. T-shirtable. Yeah, I'm going to give it the 0. I wanted to somehow figure out a way to give it more than that, and I can't. It just doesn't look very good, and I don't like it enough to wear it. So just can't get it there. I'll try and make it up with cockles. So again, there were concepts I thought was cool. I think maybe like plot wise, story wise, it had some strong elements, and I just completely forgot about character. I don't know, so I'll give it a 0.5, which I'm being generous. And then rewatchable, I'll give 0.25 because I'm not against watching this again, but I'm sure the only way I'll ever watch this is what I described for you, Ross, is somehow in conjunction with Train to Busan, because I don't really remember it.
Yes. Right.
And I thought I would be higher. It feels like I like this movie more. I thought it would kind of come down at that 2.5 because of the conflictedness of it. But like you, Ross, I'm content to leave it where it lands.
Right.
And what was that at?
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. There you go. Wow. All right.
That only leaves Rybran.
Engaging. Yeah, I guess I'll give it the 1 as well. It can get that. I was engaged while watching it, for lack of better words, for because it was good or bad, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Sticky. I'll remember certain things to it as well. Certain scenes I thought did really well. Who knows how long they'll stick with me, but to lend it a little bit of a pointage, I'll give it the 0.5 as opposed to like a 0.25.
Sure. Trying to be
T-shirt,
nice.
well, I've been struggling with that one as well, but yeah, I'm gonna give it the 0 because like even if I was given a shirt for this, I don't think I'd ever wear it. I just the design,
It would
the
stay.
character
It would
stuff
stay
is
in your
not.
closet or drawer.
Yeah, there's not.
They'd have to like do a illustration for it that isn't from the movie or doesn't look like the movie.
Exactly, or something. There'd
Yes.
have to be so much different to it. But like in that instance, I'm like, I don't care about these main characters at all. So it'd have to like just be the zombies on there, and like, yeah, there's too much to go on. So 0.
Yeah.
Cockles, I think this is a tough one. 0.25. I'm just gonna go with what I'm feeling. I think Just because, there wasn't much to it that kept me being like, ooh, I really, yeah. I don't know what to expand upon that you guys haven't said already realistically. And rewatchable again, 0.25, just because I'm not opposed to it. I'm never willingly gonna, I think, go back to it unless it's in aid with something else. So that's a 2 as well. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So what does that bring our total Chuddle score to? 1.9 out of 5.
Wow.
Is
this
it makes it seem worse than it is. I think it's just from lack of
it's just from lack of being good,
being compelling enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this our lowest rated
Can't
film?
No,
right?
No, we'll get into that in a second. I think we have one coming in from the club. T-Boo.
We do have one from the club.
Yeah.
Nobody had seen it. He watched it just to chime in, I think.
Yeah, so we definitely appreciate that. I can read it if I got it.
Yeah. Thanks, T-Boo.
Yeah. Engaging, 0.75. The story isn't bad, but the animation felt off in a way that wasn't appealing and kind of took me out of it from time to time. Sticky, 0.25. I'm not the biggest zombie guy to begin with. I'll remember I watched it, but not sure I'll be able to recall even key scenes eventually. Yeah, I mean, sounds about right. T-shirtable, 0. I just don't want anything from this. We're right there with you. Cockles, 0.25. It's animated and it has gore, so I'll give it some love for that. Does it have gore?
In theory.
On paper.
And rewatchable 0. I'll never watch it again for any reason. This is a far cry from Train to Busan. 1.25 out of 5, and I'm taking a lady of the night out to the late show and then throwing her at the screen.
Oh, good job. That was the best one. Thanks, T-Boo. Listen to the nightclub.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, that I saw his score come in before I'd seen the movie. I was like, damn, that seems really low. But I'm almost that low. It's just the story itself. I mean, we spoke on it. We just talked about it for an hour and some odd minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I really did think I would hit that middle ground for it because I don't feel like I have any ill feelings towards it.
No, I think it's fun to watch once. You know what I mean? Like, it's
I'm not
just
upset that I watched it by any means. I'm like, yeah,
right.
That happened. Okay, cool.
This sounds weird. I would be more stoked if this was a DVD extra when I bought Train to Busan. You know what I mean? Where it's like, get the DVD.
Seems like that's what it would have been.
It seems like that's what it was.
Yeah.
Or should have been or something like that. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
To be its own thing is detrimental to it itself.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Brian, where does this stand with other movies in the Goo Book?
So as you said, it is a 1.9, and that puts it relatively low, but we do have stuff that's lower, Ross. So our only other 1.9 is The Greasy Strangler. And we have stuff right above that in the 2s, things like The Horde, Jason Goes to Hell, and Marty's. Below that at 1.8, Murder Party, and Child's Play 3. 1.7 is a Cheap Thrills, first movie ever covered. 1.5 to Curtains. 1.4 to Pizza. A 1.2, two 1.2s to Halloween Ends and Antichrist. And our lowest rated one is a 1 for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. I was in a real bad mood and gave that one a 0. And Sam gave that a 1. And Ross gave it a 2. I said, fuck it. Keep it.
Keep it. Let it ride.
So yeah, our lowest rating is a 1. That's
wow.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. We did it. We chuddled Seoul Station.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, Chuddleman. That does
Thanks
it for the Chuddle
me.
Horror Movie Pod Club meeting for tonight. Follow Chuddle the Pod on Instagram, Threads, I might start posting on Facebook again. We'll see.
Ooh.
Stay up to date with the podcast. Follow at Ross Purvis on Instagram. See his tattoos and art. Spend his monies on those things.
Yeah.
Or your monies to him on those things.
Spend his money. Spend his money.
I also have a letterbox now.
Yes, he does.
Thank you, Ross. I'm about to get to that. You can follow Chuddle the Sam, Chuddle the Brian, and Chuddle the Ross now on Letterboxd if you want to see what movies we're watching or what lists I am making. If you want to participate in the show, have ratings read, or just want to hang out with us and the rest of our Chuddle community, jump in our Discord. Just to make that easy for you, all that is put in the show notes, so you can just go into your little episode there and click on it. Again, rate, review, tell a friend. Thanks for listening. Until next time, avoid the time loop.